So, how is the RAV4 doing? For those of you that didn't know, this is a 2024 RAV4. I've got just over 500 miles on it. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to come on and let you guys know how it's doing for me. First and foremost, no check engine lights, nothing wacky like that. You know, one of the big fears that I have when I buy a new vehicle, I guess, is that there's going to be something wrong. Every time I turn it on, I look down at the gauge cluster to make sure that no check engine light or any other kind of granny or nanny light pops on. So far, nothing at all. The only issue I've had as far as annoying things like that is this rattle, which you guys can hear, I think, now and then, seems to have moved. It was over here in this pillar. I thought it was the seatbelt tensioner device there, but now it seems to be over in that one. So I'm guessing it is indeed the seatbelt tensioner, and that some part in there, because it's happening on both, it seems, can vibrate around or be loose. No other issues like that. I've had vehicles before where I get a rattle in the dash. It's like plastic rubbing together or something. Nothing like that. I'm happy to report. From a fit and finish standpoint, after 500 miles, no weird scraping or anything like that on the seats. You know, sometimes because of seating position or entry and exit into the vehicle, you kind of have to slide in over that slight buffering on the seats, and then the seats start to show a little bit of wear. Even at very low miles, they get creases and things like that. I haven't noticed any of that in this RAV4, and I think that's because it's designed in such a way that I can get in and out without having to put a lot of weight and slide in over the seat. A good design, I think. After all, it's pretty important when you can get in and out of your vehicle easily, right? Everything else inside is good from a fit and finish standpoint, unless you consider that rattle to be a fit and finish kind of thing. But the seams, the gaps, where everything fits together, the materials themselves, I think everything is soft where it needs to be soft, hard where it needs to be hard. You can reach everything easily in here. I can even reach over and open the glove box if I want. So everything is within good proximity to the driver. I've been in other vehicles where there's no way you could reach over and open up the glove box because it's either too far forward or too far across the car, and some of that depends on the size of your vehicle, obviously. But no issues or anything like that. The controls and things in here are intuitive. In other words, if you've used other HVAC controls or radio controls, you can operate almost from the get-go everything inside the RAV4 without having to consult the manual constantly. And I like that. You know, I've been driving for a long time. Last thing I want to do is jump in a new vehicle and start all over again. Kind of annoying. On the outside, we have to talk about paint. We have to talk about gapping. First of all, the paint. You know, Toyota gets a pretty big ding when it comes to paint, particularly if you're driving around in a white Toyota Tacoma. I have seen report after report of how bad the paint is on the Toyota Tacoma, specifically in the white color. Rumor has it they don't put much of a clear coat on it. They use a thinner coat, and it peels easily and breaks down. I've never had a white Toyota anything, I don't believe, so I don't have any experience with that. I will say that with this color, and it is the magnetic gray metallic, no issues with it. I think the biggest complaint I have is that it shows dirt, because this does get parked outside. So of course it does get pollen and dirt and dust and everything blowing all over it, and it shows up. I think the best color to have, ironically, even given the possible quality or paint issues, is white. And it's strange, you would think white would show everything, and it does if you're driving through mud pits or something, or maybe you live in one of those areas where the dirt is orange. But here where I'm at, white is the best color to have. This magnetic gray metallic shows everything, and I hate washing vehicles. As far as the seams and all that stuff go, and what I'm talking about is where body panels and things meet up. Like the hood, like the fenders, where the tail lights are, where the headlights are, all the areas where things meet up and could potentially be off. And of course, there's always a built-in tolerance for that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of the older videos where the guys in the factories are running around and sticking little gauges in the slots and stuff. What they're doing is checking to see that the gapping is within tolerance. I don't notice any problems with the RAV4. Everything seems to be aligned pretty well, even the hood from side to side. The last Tacoma I had, the hood was off, and so was the grille. Just a little bit, enough that you could see it with the naked eye. Now, I don't think it was any problem as far as exceeding Toyota's tolerance levels, but nonetheless, something I could still see. And in my mind, if you can see it, it's a problem. It's there. After all, if you can't see it, does it really exist? Now, let's talk about the engine, because of course, when you're talking about how something is doing, it needs to start every time you push the button in this case, right? No issues with anything like that. Shouldn't come as any surprise. I mean, 500 miles. If I had some kind of an engine issue, I would have been back at the dealership demanding that it be fixed, because you never should have that kind of an issue. Even on the worst quality models out there, I don't know that it's typical that they're going to have problems with 500 miles. Now, would I recommend this vehicle? You know, in a video that I did recently, I said I would, and that has not changed. I still would. It's a fun vehicle to drive. Everything and everybody fits in it, including your groceries and all that stuff. And that's really why I bought this, was more to be able to fit stuff in, people and things. And it does a great job at that. And one thing I want to mention, I have had 4 grown adults in here, and I couldn't feel it at all in the vehicle itself. You know, if you get a really gutless vehicle, you can feel that when you have extra people riding around with you. Feels more sluggish, feels slow. Didn't notice that, or haven't noticed that in the RAV4. Seems to have enough oomph, enough horsepower to be able to handle all that kind of stuff. So no issues along those lines either. Awesome vehicle. Wouldn't hesitate to buy one again. The only real issue I have with it, I suppose, is the auto stop system. But Toyota got a little smarter when they set this system up, because you have to basically have the brake pedal pushed down pretty firmly for the system to kick in. Otherwise, it'll just give you a message on the dash that says something along the lines of, if you want to engage auto stop, push the brake, not the accelerator, push the brake pedal a little bit harder. That's it. I'm not a big fan of auto stop anyway. That's it. Awesome vehicle, doing great so far, no issues at all. First 500 miles on the RAV4. Leave a comment, let me know. Ever have any issues with the RAV4? Either old or new. I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.